making companies new highs. I'm not fucking leaving. The show goes on. They're nuts. They know nothing.
An online network called Internet.
Well, it's very hip to be on the internet right now.
Welcome, my degenerates. The rest of your life starts right now on Market Mania, presented by Kalshi. The no bullshit approach to all markets, including election betting, cryptocurrency, and the largest casino in the world, the U.S. stock market. We are back, baby. Shout to Kalshi, shout to Elon the dog. Brian Rast is with us today. Thank you for joining us, Brian.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah. Thank you so much. This is going to be a great show. We really appreciate having the insight of a multiple bracelet winner, nice, like good mind, crypto, degen. I don't know, like just you're awesome. I love you in general, personally, not just because you're on the show. Thank you so much.
Likewise, I'm excited to be here with all y'all.
Top story, and I know you caught this one last night, Rast. This was a scene from Idiocracy. No, actually, this was the real Donald Trump rally at Market Square Garden. Tony, play it.
Market Square.
I don't even know if that's coming through. I mean, playing. Oh,
the audio's off.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys get the idea. This could be a scene from Idiocracy. Brian Rast, I'm going to hit you first here. Has the fall of Rome happened already? Are we witnessing that right now?
I don't think you can granularize the fall of Rome down to this. I think there's so many things that have indicated that the U.S. is like a waning global power, and it doesn't have to do with the Republican National Convention or the Democrat National Convention. It's just like budget, bad foreign policy decisions, weak leadership, whatever, all kinds of reasons. It's happening, but this is just one of many expressions. But I mean, to me, whatever, it's a fun rally with energy. That doesn't necessarily mean something bad's happened. So I'm going to say no. But I agree with the premise, but not with the example.
Okay, Matt Glantz. Now, obviously, on the heels of the Democrats having Lil Jon, open their DNC just a month ago or whatever, you see this shit show from the Republicans. I mean, what goes through your head when you see this?
I mean, who doesn't love Hulk Hogan? He's like a childhood hero. Well, we all love Hulk Hogan, and whatever. He's gung ho for the Trumpster, so it's all good. It's all fun. It's all fun and games until you have a comedian making racist jokes. But other than that, it's all fun.
Brett, you're fine with this?
I would push back on. You're saying the other guy with the racist jokes. I was saying I don't think Hulk was saying racist jokes.
No,
here.
The comedian.
Yeah.
No,
we'll get to him. We'll get to that guy. I think it's fine. I mean, Hulk Hogan, not really. It's not 87 anymore. I'm not as big a fan as I was as a kid, but he's still doing his thing. It's great American, I guess. So I'll give it a.
He almost ripped off the wrong shirt, and he's like almost ripped off.
He's like in his 70s. He's still got to be the muscle guy, and he's like 72 or something. It's
when
fine.
They took a shot at my president, that was enough, brother. Lady. I mean, I don't know. It's fucking insane to me. I mean, it's absolute batshit crazy to me.
You know what the crazy thing is, guys? Is like you have the arguably the smartest, wealthiest, best creator in the world. You have Elon Musk at this rally, and he gets overshadowed by Hulk Hogan and this racist comedian. So it's like it kind of actually is a detriment to have these guys when you have like Elon Musk there. That should every meme, every video should be Elon Musk.
I don't think Hulk is a detriment, but this guy.
Just because he overshadows
Do we have video?
That's all I'm saying.
Do we have audio? Is this going to play if we play the
Let me add it. Wait,
comedian?
I want to add something about Elon because I want to say the only part that I watched, the only video that I actually watched of the rally was like 5-minute Elon speech, where, by the way, it was actually super cool seeing how pumped he was. Like a quarter of the time he spent on stage was just him being excited about how much fun he was having. At this rally with the energy. So but I agree. But personally, that's the only part of the rally I watched. was Elon. So,
and I agree with you. He is obviously the one person to highlight here, the most capable builder of our time. So wait, can we see this racism? Because this was insane. I can't believe this guy got green lighted. Do we know, Tony? Do we know if this is going to play? Are we going to hear it?
Wild times. It really, really is. And, you know, there's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
Wait, do we have the one where he just says the Latinos come inside?
It is.
This got fucking green lighted to be on this. Did anybody hear that? Like, did you? I mean, am I going crazy, or did I hear this guy say that Latinos?
No, he said that. Yeah, I watched this guy's set because it's a really big mistake to book him as the Trump campaign. He's known as like the comedian that tells racist jokes, right? So it's not the error. I don't even fault him for doing his normal routine. Like that's what he does. The error is in the Trump campaign. We're booking this fucking guy 10 days before the election. Why give this ammo out?
So I think it's clear that this was a strategic mistake, but is it a theoretical mistake? Like, did they, I mean, is that what they're going for? The people that run the campaign? I'm not saying Trump, but the people that run the campaign, like for them to think this is okay and let's do this, and it's going to either help the campaign or we just don't give a fuck. It's worrisome to me.
Rast, you're a strategy guy. Is this a blunder?
I definitely think it's a mistake. I think it's the type of thing that, I mean, one of the things I've started noticing is it's like you look at the left media and the right media, right? Because everyone's got their take that's just going to like back up, you know, what the story that they want. And it's just going to give ammo to the left media to be like racist rally, boom, look at this. And it's like, why? It's a strategic mistake because why would you risk that 10 days before the election to just like entertain some people that are already there, probably already early voted for you anyway? Right.
Unforced errors.
Unforced errors.
Is the key.
Big error.
I don't even think you entertained. I think like probably 15-25% of the audience is like mega cringing. Like, dude, what are you fucking talking about? Like, you know, Latinos for Trump or all that.
I saw a clip and it was one of his like racist jokes. And literally it was like silent after he said it. If anything, it almost goes to show that the audience isn't racist because he said something and everyone was like, dude, why the fuck did you just say that?
Guys, they're running a presidential campaign. Could you imagine if somebody hooked us up with this guy and said, oh, on Friday, he could be on your show. And then we had to sit down, the four of us, and said, you know, should we have this racist comedian on our show? Maybe. I think we would decide not to. Like, what's the upside? What's the up? And they're running a presidential campaign, putting this guy on stage at Madison Square Garden. By the way, not whatever you called it, Mike. It's Madison Square Garden. I think you called it Market Street Garden or something.
I missed that.
But anyway, I'm dialed into sports these days, boys.
I couldn't even imagine us putting this guy on our show.
He doesn't. I don't give him a platform. I'm not having him on the show. If you showed me these clips and be like, "Hey, do you want him on the show?" I'd be like, "No, this is just not that."
It just doesn't make any sense.
Racist. No.
All right. Yeah.
So that's gonna. Let's see if that moved the markets. Tony, go ahead and pull up. I want to get Rast, and thank you again for Brian Rast, Rast on the old Twitter if you want to hit him up. And hold this up. I want to get Rast reactions on the current market. Brian Rast, the Market Mania floor is yours. You can tell us who you like, what you're betting on, whatever you think, what the thesis is. Please let us know what you think about this election 8 days away.
Yeah, so from a betting perspective, I didn't have a very strong opinion until like maybe quite recently is when I think the best EV has come. So it's like this election kind of boils down to the 7 swing states. I think outside of them, it's not like something couldn't flip, but they're all like very low probability, kind of like 10% or less outside of these 7 states, basically. I think that, you know, you can find different odds in different places. For example, Nate Silver today has it at like 53.47 according to his model. Obviously, the betting markets differ. I would say that when I look at the polling and look at like the prices over the whole market, I mean, basically, some of these swing states are like 3-1 Trump, such as Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina starting to push there too. I mean, that almost wins him the election with just those 3. He has to win like one more state, right? So it's like, out of the other states, you know, I mean, Pennsylvania is considered the key linchpin state. It's got the most electoral votes, 19 out of them. It's pretty close. Nate Silver has it like 53-47 Trump, which is the exact same odds that he has. Part of the reason is I think he's off on Pennsylvania as well as some of the others. When I look at Pennsylvania, and I look at, if you can go to like Real Clear Politics or Nate Silver, you look at all the polls that have come in. There was a clear Kamala bounce that happened in September after the primary. After the debate, which she won. But basically, since then, it's kind of reverted back to Trump. And I'm actually also making a little bit of a call here on my own. The world's richest, most effective man has made winning Pennsylvania his like number one goal. He's been in Pennsylvania giving speeches. That's also been part of why I think the polls are moving. He's literally giving $1 million out like every other day to like someone that signs.
I applied for the Nevada.
Like he's paying people $40 to sign someone else on the. It's like, bro, I'm just telling you, I think that these things are also going to have an effect. And even looking at the polls, I don't see how Nate gets. You know, you look at the last month of polls; they've been like mostly like red in Pennsylvania. It's shifted. And it's like that's before people could early vote, going into the early voting. I don't know how you get 53-47 to me. And it's like winning Pennsylvania, whoever wins Pennsylvania is going to win like 90+% of the time. Not to mention the other swing state problem she has with those southern swing state blocks that she's like a 3-1 dog. So it's just the path for her to victory being close to 50-50, I think is cope and delusion, dude. I think this is like 2-1 range right now. If I could bet Nate Silver's odds, I'd fucking pound the shit out of it. Okay, please give me 53. Obviously, the betting markets won't allow it. So, you know, I mean, my personal betting thing is I was betting. I'm not really betting anymore, but I was betting at like under -150 a lot like a week or two ago. And I've just added Kamala popular vote on a place where you can get it like way better than the rest at, you know, around like -150 as well. So I have like a nice hedge. And my feeling is that
I have
almost impossible.
I was going to ask you
to win. Let me just say the last thing and I'm wrapped up. It's almost impossible for Kamala to lose the popular vote but win the election. So anyway,
that feels almost impossible. And now I was going to ask you about this popular vote because I saw Squee. There's a couple of my normie friends that are just like scrambling in the chat. They're like, how do I fire on this? Like, Micon, I know you know. And I see so many people betting Kamala popular for size, and I mean size. Do you think do you think that that's sharp money right now, especially at like some of the places that have it, you know, really good, like, you know, 58 cents to win $1 or whatever?
Yeah. And if I was, I think that's a way better way to bet Dem than them winning the election at the current price.
I've had this thought in my head for a couple of months now. On the night of the election, the very first states are generally red that come back for reporting. I wonder if that popular vote market gets really tight on the night of the election and then provides like really good opportunities to fire Kamala.
You know, I think that I feel like the market's going to be a little sharper after what happened in 2020. I also think that like everybody knows the 7 swing states that they're going to look for and, you know, wait for them to come in. I think like if, you know, it's possible that if you are right on top of the information super fast somehow and something surprising is rolling in, maybe you can get a small edge. I just don't, everybody looks at 2020 and where there was that opportunity to basically, you know, bet Dem and get like 3-1 or something and they end up winning. I just like really don't think that's going to happen again 4 years later when like everybody's ready for something like that.
Brett, do you think, I think that you're ready for that, Glance. I think that the sharps that are watching this show are ready for that, but I think that the general market participants are religious about whatever side that they like. I mean, Brett, what do you think? You think night of election, we're all gonna be here in Rast. I hope you join us on November 5th. If you could give us a little bit of your time, this is going to be a crazy stream. As the results come in, we're going to be watching all the markets. I mean, Brett, do you think that on the night of the 5th that we're going to see, you know, some sort of a Trump up? Do you think the popular market is going to move irrationally?
Right? I don't know what's going to pop up, right? But it's like David Goggins. He did a video and he was like, people ask me what I'm training for, and he's like, motherfucker, I'm not training for shit. But if something pops up, I'll be fucking ready. I don't know what's going to pop up on election night. I know you want to be liquid, though. You do not want to be caught offside. You don't want to be in some position you can't really get out of. You don't know where the liquidity is going to go, but you want to be able to take advantage. I think there will certainly be spots that pop up on the election. Some of the people we're going to have on are very in depth into the different markets. So hopefully we'll have some alpha on this show that we can then deploy our capital and profit.
And Glance, Glance is gonna drop our odds at a glance time because he has some different thoughts on what
Odds
could
at a glance,
potentially be. Yeah, no, thank you. That's all me right here. So he's gonna drop what he thinks, and I want to hear Rast's reaction after Glance lays out the thesis here of a silent vote could be a potential to move those markets on the 5th. Glance,
Mike,
what do you got? What do you got?
So we all see the same polls. We all see the same betting markets. When I trade derivatives in the stock market, it's very similar to what I'm doing here. I'm always looking for something that we're not all looking at, that almost nobody's looking at, to try to find an edge. And if you remember in 2016, the silent vote was basically why the polls were off, because so many people were voting for Trump that were either ashamed or just shy about saying they're going to be voting for Trump. And so we saw a big shift from the polls to election night, where people put their votes in, but they weren't answering polls or admitting to their friends, family, that they're voting for Trump. And that was a clear error in the polling system and the odds and the betting markets in 2016. In 2020, the election kind of panned out just like the polls, so there really wasn't a hidden vote. But I have a feeling in 2024, it's quite the opposite. Like, no one's ashamed to be voting for Trump. People are proud of it. It's quite the opposite of 2016.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to consider the fact there might be a hidden vote among women who, really are offended by Roe versus Wade being overturned, the abortion issue. Also combined with, they're probably sick and tired of their husbands cheering on Trump and watching Fox News, and they don't want to get into a fight with their husbands. They don't want to say it. They don't want to piss off their Trumper friends, MAGA friends. So I think that if there is a hidden vote this election, I think it's going to be women voting basically on the abortion issue and the despise of Trump. And I think
you're right,
that could
honey.
Be something
you're
similar
right.
to 2016.
Her laugh is awful. Her laugh is terrible, honey.
Let me
you're
pose
right.
a question about the explanatory variable in your equation. Your explanatory variable for the shift is that people poll differently than they vote. I mean, here's the thing. Voting is silent. Polling is kind of as well. Like, the wife's answering the phone during the day when her husband's gone or at work and saying who she's going to vote for or whatever. It's like her husband's not going to hear or ever find out either. It's like, what if the explanatory variable isn't about people lying in polls? It's more about underreporting certain voter demographics in the polls, in which case I think it becomes much harder to say who's going to be underreported. And the other question I have is it true that in 2020, is it that there was no shift? My understanding is that there still was a shift from the polls that was just small and didn't come close to overcoming Biden's pretty sizable polling lead. So those are the two problems I have with your thesis.
To answer your question, in 2020, there was obviously there's always some shift, but the shift wasn't noticeable enough to move the election in 2020. That's all I was saying there. I totally agree with you about at the polls, who's answering the polls, if they're going to answer the same in the polls as they would the election. I don't think the effect is necessarily because people answer differently in the polls from the election. I really haven't heard that. I think it's just a net effect of a lack of correct information, whether it's underreporting, reporting certain demographics, whatever it is. That was a real silent vote in 2016. So I'm just proposing the possibility that if there is a silent vote, because it's clearly not going to be that same Trump, nobody's ashamed to be voting Trump this time around. So if there is a silent vote in 2024, I think it's going to come from the Democrats and the women. That's my proposal.
Females do not like it. I did talk to some middle of bell curve types earlier, and the females are like, I can't vote for Trump. He's a Chester the molester, is what they told me.
I will also say this. Oh, we got the pick of the day. One more thing. I'm voting. I voted already by mail for Kamala. I don't like Kamala. I mean, I don't know anyone that really likes Kamala. Okay, so if there's anything, there's pressure on me not to be admitting I'm voting for Kamala, because who am I really voting for? I don't even like her. I just
you're
think
voting for
Trump's
machine,
worse,
the blue
right?
team.
But what I'm
No matter
saying
who.
is they hit the silent vote. I think people are feeling ashamed to vote Democrat because of how bad the Democrats have been the last 3 years.
I would be, for sure.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So that's where I think there could be a hidden vote, and that's where I think there could be edge in the betting markets.
I think, yeah, my personal just vibes only is that I feel there could be like full red wave. And that's probably my echo chamber because I mean, every crypto bro, the dude showed up in Nashville and like, yeah, he's a narcissist grifter or whatever, but the Dems have been just sending Wells notices and like just firing like, you know, at crypto for like the last couple of years. And then this dude shows up despite him selling steaks in a weird fake college and all the dumb shit, all the grifty shit that you've seen in the last couple of weeks, the watch, the fucking coin. And he shows up to Nashville and he's like, yo, I'm going to protect Bitcoin. I'm going to protect crypto. And I'm going to free Ross day one. And then you're just like, well, okay, well, fuck, you know, fuck. I mean, it's either the people that have been destroying you. Oh, those are the only two options. Tony, the producer. He's going to break in with some fucked up shit, no doubt. Oh, I love this one. Rast, I want you to watch this. I know you haven't seen this yet. You got to see this. You got to see this. Tony, take it away.
Just hit my feed. I had to play it. Here we go.
Over a longer time horizon, how concerned are you about the potential impact of the dollar's status as the world's reserve currency?
Did you see that, Rast? The fucking symbol for the treasury,
about the potential
whatever,
impact of the dollar's status as the world's
It falls off the moment she asked about the potential impact of the dollar as a world reserve currency.
I love it when the simulation speaks, boys. I just had to hop in and show that to you. I'm going to get out of here so you can bring us to pick of the day, though.
All right.
Wait, hold on. Can I add something before we go off about it, too? Because I just want to say, like, here's another thing to me that's exciting about Trump, right? I listened to the whole Joe Rogan interview. One of the things he admits is he doesn't like a lot of his picks, the people he picked last time or whatever. He'd never done it before, never done politics, never picked hundreds of people for cabinets. Bro, who's he surrounding himself with this time? I'm excited. Like, okay, Tulsi Gabbard, ex-Democrat, who I liked a lot when she ran.
Love her.
Let's fucking go, Tulsi.
Yes.
Vivek,
So
who to me, when I was listening to Republicans speak, I'm like, I like what Vivek has to say. RFK, who I was going to vote for a year ago as a protest independent vote, dropped out and didn't support it, but he originally was a Democrat. I mean, these people have been sloughed off the Democrat Party because they're not really Democratic, have shifted. We can argue about whether the parties have shifted or not. I think that they have. And how about Elon Musk? Department of Governmental Efficiency. Elon Musk, the greatest creator and organizer of our day, is going to get involved with trying to make the government more efficient. Like, please sign me up for that. So it's just like, I'm actually excited about these picks now.
Yeah.
I love it, Rast, and I think the biggest Democratic blunder. Biggest Democratic blunder.
You didn't mention Stephen Miller. Why did you mention Stephen Miller?
Biggest Democratic blunder
about Stephen Miller.
But
I'm excited about the others. Who is Kamala picking?
They shit on Elon Musk. It's going to be the same faceless bureaucrats that are still running the country right now. It's not Biden running it.
Biden shit on Elon Musk as recently as yesterday or the day before. Biden shit on Elon Musk and said he was an illegal immigrant back in the day. Fuck you. You launched 95% of all tonnage to space. That includes China, Russia, US, NASA, everything. That is insane blunder to shun that guy. And then all Trump had to do was look who's the fucking smartest guy in the room and just embrace him. It was like the biggest blunder I can possibly imagine.
Democrats have been fucking with Elon for a while now. They didn't invite him to the American
That was insane.
That's ridiculous.
That was insane.
They didn't. They wanted to provide internet to rural areas in America. They did a $42 billion contract.
Zero people got internet from that.
Instead of fucking using Starlink, they had such a hard-on to get after Elon Musk. Biden's like, we got to look into this guy like a fucking gangster. Guess what? Elon had voted Democrat every election and was like, wow, these guys have it out for me. I guess I'm joining the other team, right?
Yeah.
So
real dumb.
But anyway,
I love it, Rast. I fucking love it. You're obviously right. I love all the leftists that argue with me on the Twitter there about how Elon sucks or whatever. Like, you just aren't looking at data. Like, you're just not being real. Sorry. You can hate his politics, sure. Man is flawed, but you cannot argue with the fucking results of the things that he has produced. I got a Starlink on this tower. I got a Starlink in the middle of the ocean. I'm on a rock in the middle of the ocean. I got Elon internet.
Bruce, SpaceX, he's helping us go to space, bro. I mean, that's awesome.
Mike, I have one question before we go to the pick of the day for the three of you guys. Each one of you guys, I need an answer. You only can have one choice. There's two choices. You only get to pick one. In January, Donald Trump becomes the 47th president or Bitcoin 100K. Mike, on your first.
I got Trump presidency because you get both.
You get one or the other. What's your pick?
Fuck, man. I'll take the Trump. I'm going to take the Trump presidency.
All right,
I mean, what do you mean? It's loaded.
So I'm not even voting for Trump because of Bitcoin or anything like that. However, I'm going to take Bitcoin 100K. It'd be way too good for everything I'm doing.
And Rast?
Meme coins and all that.
Okay, so Bitcoin's 100K win like this week or something?
In January. But either he becomes the 47th president or Bitcoin's 100K.
You get both.
I mean, my thesis is that if Trump wins, Bitcoin's like launching like
to the moon
week, if it doesn't already launch. So,
all right.
I mean, I guess at this point I take Trump because I think I probably get Bitcoin anyway.
Fair enough.
Thank you. Love it when my answer is the same as Rast. That feels so good. Anybody in the gambling world knows that whenever you're aligned with Brian Rast, then you just fucking feel great about whatever the action is. Tony, launch that pick of the day.
Make a party rock, drop it like it's hot. Everybody stack, I'm stacking to the top.
All right. Matt Lance, we start with you. What is your pick of the day?
I got another vaccine stock, Novavax, like my pick last week, which is Moderna. But Novavax is like, I don't know, $10. Pretty cheap now. It's also bird flu stock, and there are some bird flu cases in California and on the West Coast. So this could get hot.
Did that full round trip from when we did this in 2020, when we did this show during pandemic, that's full round? It was like 200 and something. Amazing.
Oh yeah, this was a massive stock.
Can you click the full on this? I know we're not supposed to do this, Tony, but can you click all or 5 year? The 5 year is good. That's amazing. That's give me the 5 year. Give me the 5 year. That's every pandemic on that chart right there. That's amazing. All right. Brett Ritchie, what is your pick of the day?
My pick of the day is the long Sol ETH, the Solana Ethereum pair. I spent a lot of time on the base network over the weekend. The user experience on Ethereum EVM chains is just way worse than Solana. Solana has all the retail. It has all the momentum. This chart, it keeps on going up. If you click full here also, you'll see it's basically just up and to the right. And
that's just the ETH chart. It's not the Sol ETH chart. He's talking about the Sol/ETH pair.
I put the link in the spreadsheet, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, long the Sol ETH pairing is my pick.
All right. And Brian Rast, what is your pick of the day?
So my pick, not very surprising, is Bitcoin. So listen, we're about 6-7 months post-halving. We've been consolidating for a very long time. We bottomed in August at 49K. The price action since then has been pretty bullish. We've been making higher lows and higher highs with contracting downside dips, 786 fib, then 5 fib, then 0.3, 2 fib. And we've been having accelerating moves to the upside once we've bottomed during that time frame, which is a very promising price action preceding potential markup. My belief is that once Bitcoin marks up, there's been a lot of short interest built up in this range, and once that cascades, we probably do like 10K plus in one day with a cascading. Like this has happened many times over Bitcoin. It actually happened last year when we broke up at the end of October and 32K had been the top for like most of the year. We broke up, plus 20% in basically a few hours.
Rasty, give us an end of year target.
I believe if Trump wins the election, my end of year target, I'll say around 100K. I think if Kamala wins the election, my end of year target is going to be, I think we probably reject and consolidate a little bit more. So I'll say it's about 70. I'll say it's about where we are right now.
Tony, go ahead and clip that, Tony. Upload it to Pornhub right there because that is amazing. Thank you very much, Rast. That was excellent. Tony, I heard you have a pick of the day.
I do.
That's hot. That's hot.
Wanted to go with BuzzFeed, the old leftist rag that used to print everything for the pearl clutching leftists. This was their mouthpiece, and they had a really rough run after kind of the journalism thing collapsed, and they went from over $40 down to $2.44 now. Well, I just heard yesterday Vivek Ramaswamy was showing up there as a new owner and handed them a list of journalists they need to hire, conservative journalists. So it's possible BuzzFeed gets its groove back, and it's cheap right now, and we've seen it way up here, so I think it's cheap. I think it's got some possibility. I'm going to stack up on it and see where it goes. All right, I'm out of here.
All right, and I am going with, I really just want to double down on whatever the hell Rast says the whole time, but you guys know I'm hella bullish Bitcoin, but my pick of the day today is going to be the TAN ETF. Didn't see that coming. Bigly bullish on solar, and I love just a little basket of solar companies. I think that, as Elon was saying, the sun has 99.something% of all the energy. It's like we're going to have to get it from there. We want to be a Graviton level 4. I forgot what Dyson Sphere, I don't know, whatever the hell he was talking about. He's a lot smarter than I am. But we got to harness the power of the sun. Might as well invest in the companies that do it. Brian Rast, any parting words for their viewers? Or you don't have anything to show? You're a real fucking G. You don't actually show anything. It's amazing.
Parting words, guys, listen. Bitcoin, you got a stack right now. It's probably going to take off. I just want to say, when it comes to this election, it's not like I particularly love Donald Trump. I will say that I realized I used to have TDS in part to a lot of stuff the media's kind of lied about him. Trump has done some base things before, like literally in a Republican convention in 2016. And I just saw this recently. He literally told off all the Republican donors in there, and then went off on how the Iraq war was a massive mistake, blundering a lot of money and all this stuff right in front of everyone, which no one ever does. And I'm just like, that's such a base take. How come I've never seen that video before? But I see the made up video of him saying stuff and being a Nazi. So there's that. But ultimately, I'm kind of not voting for Trump. Really, I'm voting against the Democrat Party. I've just had enough of the Democrat Party. I'm so fucking over them. Even this idea, they keep pushing this narrative to excite their base who isn't excited about anything other than abortion, that you have to vote against Trump, otherwise democracy is over. But it's I don't think democracy is going to be over either way, but I'll take a fucking lie detector test that who's better for the health of democracy right now is actually not the Democrats winning this election. So it's just I'm just fuck the Democrat Party. I'm over. I voted. Yep. By the way, I voted Democrat every election since I turned 18 for president. So, but I'm done with them. I'm done for now.
AF. Brian Rast, thank you so much for being on Market Mania show. And you can join Brett, me, Lance, and Tony on November 5th. It's going to be an amazing election night special stream. Some of you remember it from 4 years ago. We are going bigger. We have our Kalshi account locked and loaded with 10K of our own money. We're going to be blasting all night long. You're going to see every click. And Rast, Helmuth, Mattisau, a whole bunch of other people are going to join us that night. Don't want to miss it. We are going to leave you. We are going to leave you with one from a modern day poet of our time. And we like to just leave you with some lyrics. This one is a harken back to a decade and a half ago. This is Jeezy and a line from his hit, My President. And it goes a little something like this. My president is black, my Lambo's blue, and I'll be goddamn if my rims ain't too. My money's light green and my Jordan's light gray. And they love to see white. Now, how much you trying to pay? Like and subscribe to this show on X at Market Mania Show. Hit us on the YouTube, give us all the buttons on the low, and give it the subs, because then we can stay on the air, and we can do this for you every day. Don't you want that? So, until November 5th, I'll see you tomorrow, if there is a tomorrow. But for now, it's lights out.
Come on, I never sleep if I don't have my